Okay, the difference between a martial artist and a thug. Now, I wanted to get this down because there is an absolute difference between a martial artist and a thug. Okay, you get lots of thugs who do martial arts, but you don't get very many martial artists. Now, a thug is a dangerous person, someone who trains, they've got a natural ability to fight, they're big, they're good at what they do, and they literally prey on other people and have a big ego and try and I'm harder than you and I'm harder than this, yeah? That is a thug. Usually they pretend to be martial artists or they come across as martial artists. A martial artist is someone who learns the same things, can become just as dangerous and probably in fact more dangerous. However, they have temperament, they have temperance, and they have a quiet mind. Now, I don't want to go too philosophical with this and into Eastern sort of philosophies and ancient Western philosophies, but remember, the idea of martial arts is to train your body up to a level that is above the normal human. The idea of martial arts is to learn a system, not just for defense, also for attack if a situation calls for it, but it's to learn how to destroy another human being when the need arises. And what that does is give you a path where you can maybe push onto psychological, spiritual, philosophical, theological, any of these paths that you go down, artistic, where you push your mind in further directions, and you find if you take that path, people are generally nicer. And I think in the past martial artists are generally nicer. A thug, just as dangerous. You might grip a martial artist, snap him, rip his head off. That doesn't make him. To me, the martial artist still won. The thug is something that we need to avoid in society. And the problem is now, I believe, we have more thugs in society because there's less consequences. In the past, a thug would just be stabbed. The local town would lynch him. He'd just have his head cut off, no problem. With today's society where it's a complex law system and one that usually doesn't work, the thug reigns supreme. We don't carry knives, we don't carry weapons, but they do. They carry screwdrivers, they attack you. A lot of them are trained in martial arts. And what this does is now give the image that the big thug is the martial artist. He's the person that everybody respects and he's underground fighters and this, that and the other. Rubbish. If the world society was to change tomorrow and traditional martial artists could pick up their weapons again, strap their armour on, I would go for one of them any day because they'd take followers. People would follow them, they'd create communities, the thug would end up on the streets, he'd end up wandering and most of them would end up dying because in the end no one will follow them. At first they'll follow them for riches and gains, but as it gets worse and different, people will not follow them. So I want you to realise in your mind, do you want to be a thug or a martial artist? I've worked with John on this production and we've worked doing our things, and the YouTube, you've probably seen the YouTube stuff. We've had comments like, you bunch of fairies, you're gay, you're crap, and all this sort of stuff. And to me, that just seems like either you're a sad little man in your office typing back, or you're a thug. Because most people, if you're a martial artist, and I've had some of the Spetsnaz and the Russian Special Forces have come back, and they've said, we like what you do, we think this is bad, we think this is good, but generally we like that and we don't like that. They were respectable people. And other martial artists from companies, they've come through respectable. Usually we've had the MMA fighters and all this, and the getting just general thugs you can see, just coming on with abusive, aggressive comments that are meaningless. And this is not the point of the DVD. The point of the DVD is to unite people and get them to learn. So what you need to do is in your life realise, are you a thug? And can I change that and become a nice person who is still powerful and respected? Or am I a good martial artist? Think, yeah, I did really well actually. I should keep on this path. Because remember, they were thugs in the past, and they were thugs in political power. There were knights in Europe who were thugs. There was everything. But usually these people are driven out. If you go into your history and look at the three companies, which you spell F-E-E-F-R-E-E, and they were the companies of knights who were lawless and went round. In the end, they had to be quelled and taken because they were just thugs. But you've got to realise there are people in this world who are proper martial artists and really go down a nice path, and there are people who are thugs. You've just got to choose which one you want to be. Both are dangerous, but one is better than the other.